Acceptance testing is the business handshake, evidence that the AI meets agreed criteria before go live. This AiVELabs episode gives product, engineering, risk, and quality teams a practical, vendor-neutral playbook for AI acceptance testing in 2026. Use a simple operating loop: criteria, evidence, sign-off, and launch. That loop keeps conversations concrete when stakeholders disagree about quality or risk. Why this matters: technical evals alone do not equal business readiness. Acceptance packs align product, risk, compliance, and ops on go/no-go. Clear criteria reduce political last-minute debates. Enterprises shipping AI into banking, insurance, healthcare, and digital operations cannot rely on hallway demos. Buyers, auditors, and internal second-line risk partners ask for repeatable methods, version artifacts, and clear ownership. If you cannot explain how you tested and what evidence you keep, you do not have AI quality, you have optimism. Core concepts come next. Do not memorize jargon, operationalize each idea into cases, metrics, and gates. Concept 1: Acceptance criteria. Write measurable thresholds for quality, safety, UX, and support readiness. Avoid vague good enough. In practice, treat this as a measurable property, define what good looks like, attach evidence, and track it across model, prompt, data, and tooling changes. Concept 2: Stakeholder roles. Name who signs for product, risk, security, and operations. Ambiguous ownership delays launches. In practice, treat this as a measurable property, define what good looks like, attach evidence, and track it across model, prompt, data, and tooling changes. Concept 3: Evidence binders. Collect scorecards, sample transcripts, and residual risks. Make the decision reviewable later. In practice, treat this as a measurable property, define what good looks like, attach evidence, and track it across model, prompt, data, and tooling changes. Concept 4: UAT scenarios. Have real operators run scripted and exploratory scenarios. Capture friction, not only scores. In practice, treat this as a measurable property, define what good looks like, attach evidence, and track it across model, prompt, data, and tooling changes. Concept 5: Exit criteria. Define what must be true to launch versus what can be tracked as debt. Timebox follow-ups. In practice, treat this as a measurable property, define what good looks like, attach evidence, and track it across model, prompt, data, and tooling changes. Concept 6: Post-launch hold. Plan an early life monitoring period with heightened review. Acceptance continues after day 1. In practice, treat this as a measurable property, define what good looks like, attach evidence, and track it across model, prompt, data, and tooling changes. Here is a real-world pattern. Setting: National insurer launching a policy endorsement assistant for call center agents. Product wanted to launch on demo vibes, risk demanded acceptance criteria. The team defined thresholds for disclosure completeness, escalation rate, and handle time impact. UAT with agents found confusing refusal messaging that scores missed. After fixes and dual sign-off, launch proceeded with a 2-week heightened monitoring hold. Notice the pattern: define scope, run controlled tests, capture evidence, decide with named owners, and feed failures back into the next cycle. That is how AI quality becomes a system property, not a slide. Common mistakes slow mature programs. Mistake 1: Treating a successful demo as acceptance. Teams that skip this create silent risk that surfaces in production or audits. Mistake 2: Leaving sign-off owners unnamed. Teams that skip this create silent risk that surfaces in production or audits. Mistake 3: Skipping operator UAT in favor of offline metrics only. Teams that skip this create silent risk that surfaces in production or audits. Mistake 4: Launching with unbounded "we'll fix later" debt. Teams that skip this create silent risk that surfaces in production or audits. The antidote is discipline, small goal sets, explicit thresholds, change control, and monitoring that connects production incidents back to evaluation suites. Key takeaways for your team. Takeaway 1: Write measurable acceptance criteria up front. Takeaway 2: Collect evidence and name sign-offs. Takeaway 3: Include operator UAT scenarios. Takeaway 4: Plan early life monitoring after launch. Write these into your team wiki and release checklist so they survive staffing changes. Your next steps this week: draft acceptance criteria and sign off roles for your next AI Go Live. Then, schedule a structured UAT day with real operators and a written exit checklist. Keep the artifacts, prompts, datasets, scores, approvals so you can defend the decision later. Where this fits the AiQualtest method, learn the foundations with AiVELabs, practice with hands-on cases, and validate with governed evaluation evidence. Visit aiqualtest.com and learn.aiqualtest.com. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for weekly AI quality, evaluation, and governance episodes. Additional depth for practitioners: treat AI acceptance testing as a controlled experiment. Version the inputs, freeze the environment where possible, record who approved exceptions, and rerun after every material change, model upgrade, prompt edit, retrieval index refresh, or tool permission change. Pair quality metrics with latency, cost, and safety signals so trade-offs are visible to product owners. When results regress, open an incident-style review even if the feature still looks fine in a demo. Governed teams prefer boring, evidence-backed releases over surprising wins that cannot be reproduced.